Well, near my campsite, there was like a strange camping guy. I think he was like a little bit crazy, you know what I mean? And I think he's a little bit of an alcoholic. But anyway, he had this van and he kept cranking it up all night. So he like, vroom, 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 vroom. And then after like a couple minutes, he'd cut it off. Then he'd do it again. He did this like 50 times in a day. He'd do it all the way into the night. And I don't know if he was just turning it on so that he could play music, because he was playing music through his country music through his stereo. So I think that's what he was doing. But anyway, he drove off a couple of days ago, day before yesterday, and he left his campsite. So anyway, we're gonna walk right by it, but it looks like he lives there. And some people actually live out here. This is one of those ropes that you can grab onto and fling yourself into the water. I'm not going to do it because it's too shallow. Well, it's too shallow, and also that limb is too frail. Well, I mean, would you do it? Look at that limb. I mean, it'd be good for a kid, you know. And here's a life vest right here, a youth life vest. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anybody do it yet. But I would just like to see like how far it goes out there. Well, it doesn't go out there very far, but the kid who would be doing this would go out there far. So anyway, I thought that was cool. Don't see that very often these days. You know, there's some, wow. Wow, look at that. Butterflies. It has turned out to be a spectacular day. It's probably around 80. You can hear the birds. And if you ask me, you know, why do I like to go camping? It's for this exact reason. I like to go out into the wilderness. I do not like campgrounds. I like to just be out here and you know, kind of hear the wind blowing through the trees, that kind of stuff. I just want to look at this one other area here. This is water trail. Problem is, I do not own any kind of a boat. So Rocket is just waiting. He's like, where have you been? You've been gone a full 5 minutes. Where have you been? Well, at least you're outside, Rocket. At least you're not, you know, cooped up indoors. So it is a nice kind of misty, foggy, rainy, whatever afternoon. It only sprinkled rain earlier, but right now you can just feel the rain just a little bit. So it's actually kind of peaceful. When the wind blows, it feels like fall a little bit. You see this little wooden, I guess it's made out of bamboo, this little bamboo stool. Well, I bought this originally when I had a bad sciatica, nerve pain in my leg, and I had to sit on it in the shower. So that's where that came from. But since it's waterproof, it makes a really good outdoor stool or table. So I'm using it today to warm up some leftovers. Isn't that neat? And I can just leave it outside and it can get wet and it doesn't bother it at all. And then if I start having sciatic nerve pain again, knock on wood, I can use it again in the shower. Show you what I'm gonna warm up here. This is, I want to say it's butter, garlic kind of chicken. And I made it the other day, and I'm gonna stir fry that. And I got some rice left over, and I'm gonna stir fry that, and that'll make enough leftovers for Rocket and I. And he's right here watching. So let's get this thing started. Get this party started. There we go. So we'll just put the lid on for a minute, let it start getting warmed up. You can see the flame down there. So you might be asking me, why don't you just do this in your camper? You got a stove in your camper, right? Well, the reason is heat. When you start, cooking with fire, it really heats up the cabin. And right now the cabin's at, I guess, like 75 degrees, which I can handle that. But once you start getting it too hot in there, it's just stifling. So if I'm cooking with heat, in other words, not in the microwave, I do it out here. It uses these little tanks right here. So I should have gotten some more fuel, but I didn't think about it really. I'm actually not out yet. So see, if any of you want to come and camp with me, you know what you'll be eating. You know the kind of stuff you'll be eating. We have some neighbors over here. So I'm not real happy about it, but I haven't met them yet, so I'm going to withhold judgment. I just kind of like having my own kind of private place out here, but you don't always get that.